Gomez from Easy3D, and welcome back to part 2 to Introduction to Blender. So on today's video we are going to add textures, lighting and render. So let's get to it, guys. So we left off where we have already modeled our truck. Now what we're going to do is going to apply some textures. We're going to apply wooden textures, and this is going to be kind of like a node-based shader. So we're not going to use any images or something like that. So first thing, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do my shading tab right here. Okay, now that I'm in my shading tab, I'm going to start with the wheel per se. So let's take the wheel. So select the wheel and go to material here in your tabs, the material tab, press new, click on new. It's going to create a new material. Perfect. Now this is assigned to this material. Now I'm going to create a color ramp. So to access color ramp, just press Shift A and search color ramp, and you're going to find it right there. Connect the color to the base color. Now I'm going to change the colors here. So the black is going to be a little bit of a light yellow. That's too much bright light there. And the white is going to be a little bit darker. Kind of like something similar to this color, but a little bit darker. So let's go darker here. Let's see. Oh no. More towards the orange, around there. So that's good, I will say. So after having that, I'm gonna press Shift A and I'm gonna grab a noise texture. So, noise texture. Perfect, noise texture, and I'm gonna take the factor and I'm gonna connect it to the factor right here. We still not be able to see much in there because we need our coordinates to manipulate this in a better way. So to get our coordinates, we have to add we have to activate an add-on that comes with Blender, and the name is Node Wrangler. So go to Edit, Preference, Add-ons, and you're gonna look for Node Wrangler. You're gonna find it here. You just gonna click, and that's gonna be it. So save and load, close. Then you're gonna press Ctrl T. Ctrl T, just click on noise texture and press Ctrl T, and I'm gonna give you the mapping and the texture coordinates. Now having this, I'm gonna change some of the settings here. So for the rotation, or the rotation in Y, I'm gonna put it probably like -12. This rotation in Z, let's put it probably -2. And the scale, this is what is gonna make a big difference. Let's go a little bit closer and let's see the scale here. So let's put the scale -0.3, and Y, let's leave it 1. On Z, let's put it 2.7. Perfect. So now we see that this is going like more straight out like that, much better. Okay, so in this case, I don't want to go to generated vector. I'm just going to go to object to vector instead, and that's gonna change here. You see, as soon as it activates this part, now we're getting like a better kind of like the grains or the veins of our wood. Okay, I'm gonna change some settings in the noise texture now. So let's put the scale a little bit smaller. So 0.9 the scale. The detail probably to 12, making more details, and let's put the roughness to 0.8. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to add the noise to a bump map. So let's create a bump map. Press Shift A, search bump. Okay, and go factor to height, and the normal to normal. Okay, and I'm going to put strength to 0.3. Let's wait a second until it activates. So let's put the strength. This is too much. Let's put the strength really small around there. Perfect. So we have our first material here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to select pretty much everything. Perfect. So I have everything selected. I'm going to shift select the last one. I'm going to press Ctrl L. I'm going to link materials. So everyone is going to change the same materials. So now we have it. Here it's looking nice. Perfect. So we create our first wooden texture. Procedural. So let's go to the layout now. And this is what I'm going to do. If you go to this corner, you can split and drag. You can split your windows. So I'm going to split my window. I'm going to leave one for the camera. And I'm going to split this one down. So I have my perspective, my shader network here, and then my camera right there. So let's create a camera. I'm going to press Shift A. And I'm going to create a camera. I have my camera right here. So I'm going to go to View in this window. Camera, activate, active camera. Okay, so in my active camera, I'm not going to move it yet. So in this window, being in this window, I'm going to press N. Then I'm going to go to View, Camera to View, and let's start zooming out. Perfect. So I'm going to like add the same camera that I have. Almost. But before that, I'm just going to change this because I want to put it like on Instagram, who knows. So let's change the resolution by 1080 to 1080. Perfect. Let's change that. Perfect. I have it right there. Now I'm going to change my render engine from Eevee to Cycles. And I'm going to change the CPU to GPU compute. Okay. So that's looking good right there. Now I have to create a plane. So let's create a plane. Shift A. I'm gonna create a plane. So mesh plane. Let's scale it out. Right there. Let's rotate it on Z. A little bit right there. Let's press in here. And let's go to edit mode. So press tab. Press 2 to select the edge and extrude on Z. So press Z to extrude on Z. There you go. Perfect. Now I'm going to select this edge and I'm going to bevel it. Plug around there. And let's put a lot of segments right here. Perfect. Okay, now that I have that, I'm gonna press Ctrl R to add a cut right there. Ctrl R to add another cut there, and Ctrl R to add one right here at the top, and another one. Ctrl R to add another one right here. Perfect. Okay, so I can only have my backdrop in this case. Okay, press tab to get out of that mode. Go to modifiers, add a modifier and a subdivision surface. 3, perfect. So now we have our backdrop. Now that I have that, I'm gonna add my lights. But first, let's change this object mode. This perspective of 3D viewport, I'm going to change it to the shader editor. And in my shader editor, I am going to change the object to world. Okay, perfect. So change the object to world. And now I'm going to move this with middle mouse. I'm going to drag, move. I'm going to activate my viewport shading. So this is kind of like how my rendering is looking. So right now, if you change the object, like before when we went to the shading, we have the object. So whatever you pick here is the object. But I want to change to world. So I can apply a HDRI or add a HDRI to this. So what I can do here in the background, just selecting this node, I'm gonna press Ctrl T because I have my node wrangler activated, and I'm gonna go to open right here. I'm gonna open HDRI. I get my HDRI from Polyheaven, amazing website, so make sure you guys check it out. So I'm gonna be looking at my HDRIs, and there is one that I really like, this one, Paul Love House. So I got these ones from Polyheaven, and I start seeing a really nice render here of my wooden car or toy car. Okay, but this is too strong for me. So for that reason, I'm just gonna take the strength down to probably 0.2. And that's like a good start to start making some lights in there. Also, I'm gonna add a material to this. So let's add a material first. Let's create a new material. Let's go to base color. The white is fine, but the specular, I'm gonna increase the specular, and the roughness, I'm gonna bring it down probably around I will say like 1.6 or something like that, so I can start seeing some reflection right there. And I think that's good for me. Okay, let's bring this to 0.5. That's too much. Kind of like it's reflecting too much environment for me in there. Okay, so I think that's good. Let's create some of the lights. So let's go with Shift A, light, and create an area light. Okay, I'm gonna move this area light around this area here, around there, and I'm gonna grab this yellow thing, and I'm just gonna kind of like move it towards the car right there. So this is gonna be my key light, and right now the power is really small, so I'm just gonna put it like around 120. Perfect. So now you can see some of the power there. One of the things that I noticed is like my material is super bumpy there. Too much bump. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna select my material again, change world to object, and let's bring the strength down. So probably 0.1. And that's much better. Still gonna have a little bit of bump, but not much. 0.3 was too much. Perfect. So I'm gonna add another. This is gonna be my key light. I'm gonna add a fill light. So for the fill light, I'm just gonna select this, Shift D to duplicate. I'm gonna move it to this side. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab this yellow thing, and I'm just gonna move it towards the car right there. Let's move this down, grab the yellow thing, and move it towards the car right there. And probably reduce this intensity to half, probably to 60. So we still can see like some of the things. And I have to make another light. So in this case, I'm gonna press Shift A instead of duplicate it. So let's go light, area light. Let's bring it up all the way up like that. So we have some light coming from the top. And in this one, the light is gonna be around 50. And that's good for now. So now I'm gonna select my key light, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of a warm tint. And my fill light, I'm just gonna add a little bit of a blue or a cool tone. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my render settings, cycles. I'm gonna add the denoise in the viewport so I can see it better. But I'm going to, my denoise is already there, which is good. I'm going to change some things in film. Is it this one? No. No, never mind. It's if you want, for example, just to have it transparent, you just click transparent. You want not to see the HDRI, but when you render, for example, if I don't have this background, let's turn it off here. Just want to explain that. If you render, you're gonna see the world, or you render, you press F12, you normally see the HDRI, but in this case it's not. This change definitely is pretty cool, because before you have to change the in the viewport the world, you have to change it in the viewport display, but I guess you don't have to do it anymore, which is great. So that's something that's really nice. Okay, so let's bring it back, and we press F12, and we have it all done, and we have our first image, 3D image in Blender 3.0. So hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to watch my other videos, and take care guys, and send me your work on Instagram, and have happy holidays. Take care and have an amazing weekend. Bye guys.